Hey everyone, I'm looking to see, I'm not sure if anybody's on here yet. I am a little bit early still. I'm just trying to get some links into the description before I get started. Okay, so looks pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm not sure. As usual, I'm not seeing comments. Nope, let me turn my sound off. You're gonna get double sound here. Okay, so let's get started. So this is not my normal night to do a live. My schedule's changed quite a bit, so I'm not sure what my normal night is gonna be. But I wanted to come on tonight and talk about my Frightfully Fun card class to go that's coming up. We have until Monday to place your order. And so I wanted to go over a little bit about what's going to be included in that kit. It's been a while since I've done a class or a class to go. In fact, I think it's been a couple years. So I wanted to go over that in case you weren't familiar with the concept and how this works. So for the class, you will receive a PDF tutorial to make 5 cards. It will include all the instructions and pictures, and that will be emailed to you when the class is mailed to you. In addition to the class, the tutorial, you will receive a package with a half a pack of designer series paper. So this is the paper that we're using. This is called Frightfully Fun. So you will receive, normally this DSP pack has 2 sheets of each print, but you'll receive 1 sheet of each. And I am going to leave it 12 by 12 because some of these sheets, like this one, you may want to move around where you're cutting from your cards so that this moon gets in a certain spot. So I want to make sure you get the full 12 by 12 to give you a little bit more flexibility. So this is the paper. There's this really pretty cute print on this. We've got these. I call these the crazy-eyed cats. I absolutely love them. I think they're adorable. Some of the dies do go with these cats. This one you can cut out, the cat with the hat on it. And then this cat right here. And then he's in a few different colors. So those you can cut out with the die. So I always love that. On the back of that is a stripe. Then we've got some ghosts. And I did not check to see if you could cut these out with the die. Let's look really quick. So there's 2 ghost dies in here. This would be the one that would probably cut something out. Yep, there we go. So you can cut out some of these ghosts with the dies too. Not all of them, but some of them you can. And then on the back side of that, we have some orange spider webs. And we have another tree pattern, but with a gray sky. Some more stars and swirls. And some more ghosts and bats. And on the back of this is some more spider webs with the gray background. And then this cute print and some stars. So that's the paper that you'll get. Then that's how much you'll receive. You'll get 1 sheet of each. In addition to that, you'll receive a spool of this ribbon. This is let me see what it's called. Can't remember the names of all these. Iridescent ribbon. So the edges of this is a little bit iridescent. This is a really pretty ribbon. It's thin. It ties very nicely. I've been playing with it. And then you'll also get a pack of the embellishments. I lost my white cardboard backing. I'm sure I'll find it somewhere, mixed in somewhere. But it has these really cute ghosts and bats. And then these white and black dots. So this is what your card kit your class will include. Plus you will have all the cardstock pre-cut, ready to make all 5 cards in the tutorial. So all you'll need to cut is your designer series paper and maybe some die cutting to go along with your stamping. In addition to the class, you have the option of adding on the dies and the stamp set bundle. And let me look and see how much that is. I need to flip my screen over. You can add those on. I guess I closed that. Oh, here it is. Okay, for $47.50, you can add on the stamp and die bundle. That is the advertised price for these when you order them and add them onto your class. I cover the shipping and the sales tax, so you do save on that. So there's a savings, and you also have the option to add on the embossing folder. This is the Swirls of Magic embossing folder. This is optional. You do not need this to do the class, because if any card that uses this, I will emboss before I send it out. So this is optional, but you will need, to make the cards exactly how I have them, you will need the Oh My Fright bundle, stamps and dies. Okay, so that's what's included. Now, typically when I do a class, I feel that if somebody's paying me for the class, that the class should be exclusive. But I'm making an exception, and I am going to show a couple of the cards for this class because I'm really excited about this one. Let me move this out of the way. And we're gonna make one of the cards, and then I will show you another one. Okay, the first card that we're gonna make, see, I may have accidentally shown the card. So we're using a basic gray card base. I'm trying not to show, but my camera is like picking up way more than it should. So you might be seeing it. So this is what you will receive. You'll have your cardstock cut out. You'll cut your DSP because that will give you some flexibility to pick different prints if that's what you prefer. And then you'll receive your die cuts. Any die cut that is not part of the bundle, such as the circle and this banner, I will cut those out and include those in the kit. The yellow is part of the bundle, the moon. And then you'll receive white paper to stamp and die cut your images. I did these ahead of time just for this video, just to save a little bit of time. Wanted to keep this short and sweet since this is not my normal time to do a video. So let's get started. I'm going to use some snail, and I'm going to attach my designer series paper onto the front of my card. And remember, this will all be in the tutorial. It'll be printed instructions. Well, I'm sorry, not printed. You'll receive the PDF. You can print it or look at it from your computer, whichever you prefer. So I'm going to add that on there, and I'm going to add the orange side. So if you're joining me tonight, give me a shout out. Tell me let's come up with a question. What's the best Halloween costume you ever had? I think mine was, my mom made me a Raggedy Ann costume when I was a little kid, and she went all out on this costume. I mean, she sewed, so she made the whole thing, and then she also made me a wig, and it was like made with yarn that she somehow hooked through a stocking cap, and it was just the cutest thing. That was my favorite one. My mom always made me handmade costumes when I was little. Okay, so after I put that on, I don't want to tie the ribbon yet. I'm ahead of myself. I want to stamp some bats in here. I'm using the Memento ink. I know this Stampin' Up! No longer sells this, but I still have it, and it's still my favorite black ink. And so I'm going to use it. You can use your favorite black. You could also use basic gray. That would also work. But I'm just going to use the Memento because I have it. And I'm just going to stamp these bats. Kind of want to add them. So I'm going to put them here. That's where I put them on my first card. So I'm going to put them in the same spot. Just add a little bit more to the background. And then I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm going to tie it. I'm going to go around the whole front of the card base. I like when there's a little bit of ribbon when you open the card and you see that ribbon on the inside. I think it adds a nice touch. I don't always do it. Sometimes I add an extra layer onto the front. It does use a little bit more ribbon, but I always have so much extra ribbon left over, so I like to do that. Okay, so depending on how you like tying bows or knots, you might want to leave it as a knot. I'm going to do it as a bow. I know it's not going to come out as nice as it did on my first try, on my first card, but we're going to try it anyways. Oh, it's not too bad. Oh. Okay, maybe it is. Sorry, I don't like that. I'm going to try it again. So I don't know if nobody is commenting or if I'm just not seeing them. I know Facebook doesn't always show me when I have people watching. I have a lot of times the number is a lot lower when I'm looking at it. But then when I like get off and look, it tells me that I've had a lot more views. So I don't know. I try not to look at those numbers. Okay, so let me trim this ribbon a little bit and move on with this card. There we go. Okay. Okay, and then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to attach the white circle. And that's going to be attached with dimensionals. And I put a couple layers of dimensionals. I don't mind putting quite a bit of dimension onto my cards. If you wanted your card to be a little bit flatter, you could do this layer with just glue, but whenever I go over ribbon, I prefer, it's just my personal preference, is to use dimensionals. So, and I'm just going to attach that right there on the front. I think I actually went over and kind of centered it on the card is what I was aiming for on my first card. I've got it over here off to the side, trying to hide it. Okay, and then I need to arrange. We're going to stamp a sentiment on here, but I'm going to use this right now, just kind of hold my place. I like to just lay things down, look at them before I glue them. Sorry, I've got this horrible manicure. I can't pick anything up. He put the nail polishes on so thick. It's making everything really difficult. So this is how I have it laid out on the first card. And I've got my sentiment on there. But I was thinking, I'm wondering if the cat over here and putting the moon like this and the bat over here, if that makes more sense. And I think I like it that way. So this is how I'm going to do it on this card. Now when I finalize my tutorial, I'll have pictures of both so you can see both options. I need a little bit of liquid glue on the back of this. Could probably use my seal, but I think I'd just make a big mess. So, and I don't need a whole lot. So. And then we'll put dimensionals behind the cat. So I stamped it with Memento, and then I colored it with Stampin' Blends. I used Pumpkin Pie and Smoky Slate. I didn't want to use the black. I did try the black. It just came out too dark. So I did Smoky Slate and Pumpkin Pie. But you could just use your favorite coloring. If it's watercolor pencils, if you like watercoloring with, you know, a blender pen and the ink pads, or you could even die cut it from the designer series paper. You'll have plenty to do that if that's what you would prefer. So I like coloring with the blends, so that's what I did. But there's lots of options for that. Okay, and then I put the bat on dimensional, and I'm going to put it so he's kind of hovering over that moon. And this is coming together so quickly. This is, I really do like getting card classes like this where everything's, I just have to assemble, stamp and assemble. I went to a crop this weekend. It was my friend Janet hosted it as a fundraiser, and I took some unfinished classes. I cut everything out ahead of time so that all I had to do was sit there and stamp and assemble. And I really like doing that way. Gave me an opportunity to catch up with friends that I haven't seen for a while. And I was able to focus on the people as much as I was focused on the stamping. Okay, so I used the Sentiment Trick or Treat for this one. Fit in there perfectly. And I'm just going to attach that. I want it to lay flat, so I'm going to put adhesive, like liquid adhesive over here, and I'm going to put a dimensional over here underneath the side of it. And of course, no card is complete unless we add some kind of embellishment to it, besides the ribbon. So I used these black dots. And I need to use my take a pick because my manicure is not going to let me pick these up. And I'm gonna put them, I don't like where I put them on my first card, and I switched up things, so I'm gonna figure different places. Put one there. I'm gonna use 3 of them. Of course, you're getting a whole pack with your card kit, so you can use more of them. There'll be plenty left over if you wanted to do 5. I always do them in odd numbers, but I thought with this bow up here, I didn't really need 5 of them. So that is the first card that is included in the card kit. This was my first making of it. Actually, my second. I changed out the moon. I originally had the moon vanilla, but it didn't stand out enough. So on this first card, I made the hat orange, colored the cat with the smoky slate, and then I just switched them around on this one. On both of them, I left his front paws white because I thought that was cute. And then here, hi Janet. And then here is the second card. So this one, again, I colored the cat. I stamped him and colored him with the Stampin' Blends, but you could color him with watercolor pencils. Pretty sure there's a pumpkin pie one. I've got it right here. Yep. So you could color him with watercolor pencils. You could color him with a blender pen and your ink pad or whatever you have on hand, or you can die cut him from the paper. And then I put these really cute ghosts. These are very dimensional. I will point that out. Very dimensional. I don't know if you can see them. They stand up quite a bit, but I thought that they just were cute hanging out in this tree. So these are the 2 cards. There will be a total of 5. The other 3 are going to be a surprise. So go ahead and you can click that link and order your kit if you have not ordered it yet, or your class to go. So if you're just joining me, just to remind you, the class comes with cardstock, pre-cut, ready to go, except for the stamped images, and then a spool of the ribbon, this beautiful ribbon. I love the iridescent on this. You'll get the embellishments, which includes the dots and the bats and the ghosts, and a half a pack of the designer series paper. And you have the option of adding in the bundle and the embossing folder at a discount, because I cover shipping and tax from Stampin' Up when you order them as a bundle. So let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Be happy to answer any questions. Send me a private message, whatever. And I look forward to seeing everybody really soon. I hope to be getting back onto a schedule of doing lives. If you're not sure what's going on in my life, you can go back to my page and read about it. I did make a post. I can't talk about it without crying. So just go back. You go back and read about it. And this is why things have been kind of disorderly on my page lately. But I'm trying to get back onto schedule. But this is all set to go. Monday is the cutoff to order. I'll place the order with Stampin' Up on Tuesday or Wednesday. And then the following week, which is the week of August 23rd, they will ship out to everybody sometime that week. I'll get them done as quickly as I can. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you all soon. Bye.